On the phone, we've got Cheryl Shaw from Dog Overboard in Newcastle, which is a grooming place and a daycare centre. And I can hear some doggies in the background. They're all very excited that they're on Vet Talk. Cheryl's also the PIAA Grooming Director. Welcome to Vet Talk, Cheryl.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be on board.
Thank you very kindly for agreeing to chat with us. I'm surprised that you're not resting up after the extraordinary efforts of 2 grooming competitions in less than a week. How are you coping?
Oh, it's been fabulous. It's really been a great journey. There's so many excited groomers out there, so I'm one of them. It was fantastic. It was the biggest competition ever held by PIA or any other grooming competition in Australia. So
Wow.
We were so lucky to have that many keen groomers on board. Yes, it was great.
What do you put it down to that there's so much more interest in grooming competitions?
Well, I think everybody's getting to a point that they're really proud of their work. And for those that have been grooming for not very long, so the new novice on board, they're wanting to come on and to get better skills just to make sure that they're learning, that they're setting themselves against others to improve their skills as well.
Yes, it's very interesting because we've got beautiful videotape of particularly poodles and bichons and a whole lot of other lovely breeds, but it's not just those breeds that groomers actually care for. There's a much bigger issue at stake.
Oh, look, groomers do all sorts of dogs. From dogs that are just, what you'd call the quick bath and dry and don't really require a lot of maintenance, right through to the oodle dogs that really do require quite a lot of extra work that people don't realise often when they buy them.
Yeah, I think this is the big thing that it's like, oh, so cute, so fluffy, lovely, lovely. And then it's like, oh, what, it costs that much to groom it? It's like, well, hang on a minute, we've got your dog for like 4 hours or whatever. So there's quite a lot of work involved.
And I think sometimes when clients buy these puppies, they are little fluffies and they don't get told, quite honestly, how much maintenance is going to be involved and that they are going to have a good relationship with their groomer because they're going to be being seen a lot more than those just bath and dry quick dogs. So, any of those oodles, depending on their coat, because this is all going to come down to hereditary, to the predisposition to genetics, and that's going to determine just how much maintenance that dog is, going to require. So it really does get down to some of the oodles require a lot more care and a lot more skill on the groomer as well to be able to achieve those pretty puppies looking cute and always being maintained rather than the matted variety.
Yes, I know about those. We've had a variety of dogs in the past, but we won't talk about that. I was very intrigued to see, talking about cost as Brian was, that there were several stalls there showing the equipment that's needed. I mean, nowadays it costs quite a bit to get all the right scissors and clippers and keep them sharp. It's not a cheap process.
No, it's not. And the more experience you have, you want better equipment. And because technology is going so fast that in the grooming industry, things are starting to become better. And, gone are the days of the old heavy clippers that weren't ergonomic. And so for the groomer, they're becoming a lot lighter. So they're not getting as much carpal tunnel and things like that, which are improving from the grooming perspective as well, so that the groomers aren't injuring their bodies and they're able to do a lot of the dogs a lot quicker and a lot easier, both for the dog and for the groomer themselves. And as you get better, you want better equipment. And so some of the scissors are really up there in price. But, as you improve, you want to use those good tools.
Well, Kay put her hand in her pocket and brought home a pair of scissors. And, she doesn't want to be a groomer, but she's doing, I guess, what a lot of pet owners probably need to do, and correct me if I'm wrong here, in between professional grooms. What can pet owners do to make it easier and perhaps even a little bit cheaper between grooms?
Okay, there's one thing that pet owners should do, and that's having a really good selection of brushes and combs. I always get worried when someone buys a pair of scissors because often they cut things that they shouldn't cut and they leave holes where they shouldn't leave holes.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked that question.
Oh, look, this is that you've got me going now. This is one that they'll often cut the poodle at the front because they want to expose the eyes, and then it will look like Phyllis Diller because it will all just be eyes. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is about money and it is about looking after your pet. So if you're comfortable using some scissors, you certainly can. It's not a bad idea just to ask your groomer for a few little hints if they can help you along. That way, it certainly does help that you're doing the right thing and you're making sure that your dog stays comfortable, mat-free, and also that you're not causing any injury. But a little bit of help along the way from your groomer doesn't go astray.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I certainly don't chop bits off. Hygiene areas are the ones that I'm particularly interested in. But what were some of the surprises that came about because of this latest AusGroom show?
Wow. Just trying to think. I think there were so many surprises, so many girls just jumping up and down. The fact that we had some men in the ring as well, that's just so good because we're taking it to a new level. Once it was perceived to be a female industry, and now we've got men competing, and that's so wonderful. We had a novice guy come in, and, it's great to think that we've now got men in our industry who are caring and very talented as well. That's been a great thing for me to just see we do have the men there.
And we saw some people that we've known for a long time. I'm sure regular listeners won't mind me saying, the lovely Prue Hammond and Mitchell Waygood and May Wong we saw, and so many people. Annett, a lot of people from the groom team as well that competes overseas. So, there are some very talented people because it's not just about cutting the hair, it's about covering up the imperfections as well, isn't it?
That's right, and understanding what the breed standards are and presenting that dog, as you say, they're not all, they don't all come without, being perfect dogs. So you then have to hide or camouflage the faults that are in that dog. And it does take a good eye, and sometimes it takes some time to develop that as well. And just honing those skills to be able to deliver that perfect package. And we were really, really lucky that we had so many wonderful groomers there, both, for those who were watching from the sideline, plus for the other girls and guys to get, inspired. I think that's another thing for us too. We get inspiration from looking at other good grooms, and it certainly does help to come back to work and be able to go, oh, gee, I'm going to try what I saw her do, and just put that into action. And it's just so, it's very empowering, and it makes you feel reinvigorated about going back to work. So I'm sure everybody that was watching on the sideline who wasn't competing are trying a few new skills this week.
Definitely. I know that I'm going to be having another crack at doing better top knots. I've seen the secret. You actually do too, but I won't tell anyone, okay? And last but not least, I saw on television today that in Japan and places like that, they're actually carving teddy bear faces and shapes into the back of poodles.
The Taiwan one. Yes, that was rather good. The teddy bear was fabulous, and that's something that a lot of people do. Not always for clients, but sometimes just for a bit of fun. If you've got a dog that you've got some spare time, you can carve some little things in. I know one of the girls here did a stegosaurus and dyed it was a little Shih Tzu, dyed it green and purple because the owner was having a fancy dress thing. So, there are a lot of creative things, but yes, some of these girls are just so talented in what they're doing in Taiwan. It's rather amazing.
Truly. Oh, look, Cheryl, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more about all these competitions because now they're spreading interstate. All the capital cities are having them, and we'd love to have you back on Vet Talk sometime soon.
I would love that. That is so nice, and it's been really wonderful talking to you and getting the message out there that groomers can help you, but if you need a bit of help, like you said, do it at home and get your groomer to assist you in between times.
And just ignore the laughter.
Oh, yes. No, it's all fun. Grooming's a lot of fun, but please watch what you do with those scissors, okay?
Exactly. Yeah, we will. Thank you. Thanks, Cheryl.
Okay,
Thanks.
cheers. Bye-bye.